Good morning, guys, and welcome to the news.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, have we got some news for you. It's just insane. But before we get to the news, as the Fang of Truth says, let's check the weather.
Yeah. Alright.
And what's the weather like today, Fernando?
Today the weather is 84. The
84.
high, yes, it's gonna be 84. The high is gonna be 90.
90.
Yeah.
So the feels like temperature will be like 102.
Dude, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, God. The joys of summer, guys. The joys of summer. Most of you guys are to the point to where you're going to be like, hey, summer's starting to roll down. Our good friend, Runner Amy, was complaining about how pumpkin spice is going to be in the stores here, like next week or the week after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's like, dude, it's not time for pumpkin spice yet. Because it used to be like an October thing, and now it's apparently a September thing.
Yeah.
So they can really kind of get that September, October, November, I guess. I'm guessing because, I'm sure after Thanksgiving it all goes away for whatever December's going to bring. There again, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't understand the whole pumpkin spice joy, although I do enjoy some of the pastries.
Okay.
I don't really lose any sleep on that one. But this ain't the Pumpkin Spice Show. As much as we all love the Spice Girls, we'd like to thank CE Outlook for providing us with the news that we're about to bring you. Everything that we have. If you'd like to know the full story without our opinions, we put links in the show description after the show, not the ones that are there currently, and you can go read and come up with your own opinion there. Obviously,
read the whole thing, read it again.
We give you the abridged version because we know how much you guys love to read, which is like, who likes to read? All right, so first story as always, and this one's a biggie. This one broke my heart, but we kind of saw the writing on the wall. Robert, slow down. Let's get through the first news story. Dallas KnowledgeFest postponed. Okay, let's be honest. What this really should say, let's go back here, is Dallas KnowledgeFest canceled. Because they've postponed it to like the 10th through the 12th of December. And I gotta be honest with you, there isn't a snowball's chance in proverbial hell that we'd be going anywhere in December. I mean, December is like rocket and roll season. It's like if you're in the north, that's remote start season. It's the height of remote start season.
For us, it's gonna be just like
busy.
Back and forth. Maybe like radio speakers, because everyone wants that gift for their loved ones, and it's like, hey, I just want radio. Hey, I just want speakers.
Not to interrupt, but Franco says, I pretend to read, LOL. It reminds me of King Shark and the latest Suicide Squad. He's reading a book upside down. He's, book? I like to read. It's like, it's upside down. Which, maybe because his eyes, he's a shark. Who knows?
I was thinking more like a book and a comic book inside.
Yeah.
With pictures is better.
That'd be a porno. You put a porno inside. Anyways, back to this.
Go that way, but.
So the likelihood of this actually happening is pretty thin. The reason why they've postponed it is because more than likely it's part of the contract that they have to try to reschedule it sometime in the same year. And then if they can't, it gets canceled. Let's be honest. The situation that's going on in the world right now isn't going to change. We don't need to get into the politics of that because you all have your own reasons for whatever it is you're doing. But until that changes, we're pretty much screwed as a society, so we'll just leave it at that. However, on a lighter note, because this has been postponed, naturally people have scrambled to try to come up with a solution to this because, let's be honest, man, we've got the time off, we've already scheduled it, I've spent monies on hotels, I've spent money on flight. Companies have spent tons of money to make this happen and for it to get canceled at the last minute because a lot of these companies have pulled out. We're still going away, but we're just not going to Dallas. Next week, Thursday, we'll be flying out to our good friends at Audio Control. So we'll talk more about that as the day goes on. I'll probably know a little bit more tomorrow. We'll definitely hit on it hard on Monday. And of course, we'll talk about it more on Instagram. But yes, we will be in Seattle, Washington, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we come home Sunday. So it's changed from Dallas to Seattle. If anybody would like to join us there, stay tuned. We might.
Hey, Robert.
Who knows?
There you
Who
go.
knows? But that's where we're going to be. We're going to be in Seattle.
Go Hawks.
Yeah, sure. So, that's the first story.
That is right.
We're excited, so we'll talk more about that. But, all right, VOXX winds down code alarm. So for those who don't know, VOXX is a huge company.
Yeah.
They've changed the name to VOXX, formerly Audio VOXX, for those of you that are following at home. But just to give you an idea of one of the things that VOXX has been slowly but surely doing is accumulating a lot of companies to consolidate and basically have a monopoly on certain aspects of this industry. Because they do so much of OE upfitting, they make tons of money. They're one of the biggest 12-volt companies on the face of the earth right now. But as far as alarms go, what their umbrella includes now is Viper, Clifford, Python, Avital, AstroStart, AutoStart, Automate, Prestige, Pursuit, Code Alarm, Omega, which is a whole company, and Crime Stopper. So to be like, oh, we're going to do with Code Alarm. Code Alarm is one of the OGs of the 12-volt world for sure. I mean, I remember putting them in way back in the day along with like tons of Omega equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And we put in, like, that was my first alarm, was an Omega alarm system. But...
Crime Stopper, that was mine.
That was yours? Yeah, I wasn't that cool. I didn't have that
Well,
kind of
like,
money.
yeah,
I didn't have Crime
like,
Stopper money.
I started like 25 years later.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't have Crime Stopper money. I had, we're not flying on Delta. We're Southwest. It's where the other flight was, so I just was able to move my tickets and pay a lot more money. But hey, you know, it's all for the fans. This guy right here is like a dream come true for him.
Dude, you can imagine, man.
They can imagine. They can imagine.
No, you can't.
Yeah. He about passed out last night when I said, "Hey, man, we're going to Seattle."
I was jumping on the couches.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's one of his lifelong dreams to go there, and he didn't get to go last time he went because someone had to work. It was last minute. So being able to go this time, it's like...
It's very cool,
very
man.
exciting.
I'm excited.
Maybe we'll get some of that Seattle pizza. Ooh, good times. You get to go to the original Starbucks. Anyways, back to VOXX. So, I mean, really them rolling down the code alarm, it's not a big deal. If you do have a code alarm, and like the nice thing, okay, so they're handling it like a pro. Basically what they've said is that we're going to sell out the inventory we have, but we've moved it all to distributors. So if you still want to sell it, you're going to buy it through a distributor. Once the product is gone, it's not like it's not going to be under warranty. They have a huge supply of parts. And once the part supply is gone, then they will just be replacing the modules with compatible other brands. So it's not like you're going to lose a warranty or anything like that. So, I mean, I've been through a lot of these over the years where manufacturers have either bought companies, sold companies, decided to stop making systems, and it has been a nightmare. I mean, like legit nightmare. VOXX is going to handle this like a pro. I think reality is we'll start to see them thin the herd as time goes on, because that's way too many like different brands to have. I mean, I get it, but there aren't 20 car stereo shops in your town where we need to have that many different.
And I think I read they say they're not gonna go away like right away.
No, they have plenty of inventory.
They're gonna have some dealers, so if you are very
fan
of the code alarm, you can still search it and get the
reality is they probably still have like 2 years worth of inventory.
Right. So, and that's what they say. It's gonna be in the dealers. You gotta search.
Yeah, you'll be able to. Well, you'll be able to buy it from the distributor that's just taking over. All right, CES 2022 to require proof of vaccination. All right, this is a hot topic. I'm not gonna lie. We live in one of those states where it's like, you know, you don't have to do nothing. You know, our DeSantis, our governor, is a interesting character, and we'll leave it at that. As far as the whole COVID thing goes, and like here, you know, it's just crazy, and I feel it's crazy everywhere, but it's Florida, so a Florida man, in this case, it's our governor. Anyways, I know some people are not keen to the fact, but the one thing where this kind of doesn't really matter for most of us is that CES is not a consumer show. CES is a industry show, meaning the electronics industry, not 12 volt. And in order to go,
we can still go. So
yeah, we could go, but in order to go, you have to be in industry. You have to jump through hoops. So it's a private event. If in a private event they require you to do something specific, I feel like you don't really have much of a choice. Which is fine. There's also a ton of international people that come to this, and I think that's more what they're really looking at. I mean, we all know Crazy USA, whatever, but I don't think they want a bunch of people from out of the country coming in that don't have their shots. So, I mean, honestly, if it makes CES happen, I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, in the end of the day, it's like you say, it's international. A lot of people from another countries come over here because this is the biggest event for electronics. Right? So, exactly. If some of these people, they don't have the vaccine, you don't want to risk the people that didn't hear to get infected or get...
I mean, now the question is SEMA and what they're going to do. I did get an email last night from SEMA, and it was like, SEMA's going to happen. They're going to do whatever it takes to make SEMA happen. I personally feel this is something that SEMA is going to do, but they're going to wait until like maybe a month out before they announce this, so that if you do plan on going and you don't have a COVID shot and you really want to go to SEMA, you have time to get a COVID shot.
I think in October is when they start releasing the press that you have to get proof of vaccination. That is not bad. I'm not worried about it. So,
on to a happier story. DD Audio is an audio sponsor of OCU Esports. For those who don't know, DD Audio is the other Oklahoma-based audio company. I know they are frequently overshadowed by their rival, big company of Kicker. However, DD Audio is in Oklahoma, and that is the Oklahoma College. And apparently, I didn't know this, but like these colleges, man, they all have like esports, and like even the one that's like right down the street, which you'll see from Kicker. They're big into that stuff too. Like this whole, apparently Oklahoma's a hotbed for e-gaming. But so they worked, the two bumped into one another, spawned a great relationship, and of course DD Audio wanted to be involved in it somehow, and they came up with this arcade-looking set of speakers that they made, which is a three-way tower. It has a big 15-inch subwoofer in it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm with the guy there. I'm not a DD guy, but dude, I would totally rock this from DD. I mean, I think this is awesome. I mean, it's it's made to look like a retro style Pac-Man game. Yeah, it has the colors, and I think it's really cool. I mean, and there again, I have nothing against DD. I think it's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I think this is awesome.
Just to get involved, like a 12 industry to get involved in that type of event, or
this is one of those things where it's like, we have to introduce a new crowd of people to car audio, and just because they're gamers doesn't mean they don't want a good stereo in their car. And I mean, you got to do this stuff. I mean, Kicker does this stuff with Oklahoma colleges. They build the big boom room. When you saw the video or the documentary did, they had the makings of the boom room, the mini boom room that they were making for their college. So this is cool. I think it's great. I think more companies need to do this.
So for me, this is really nice. I think it's another door open for our industry. These kids, they playing games, and now they see these speakers, and they're like, oh wow, they sound really good. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can buy something for my car.
Here's the question, though. Like, we see that right there, and like we have a good idea of how much that would actually cost to make. Knowing that, would you buy one of those?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. I mean, just to have it.
I mean, I'm down. I think it's cool. I'm a sucker, so I mean, I would buy that right away and put it in the corner because I think it's badass. I'd be rocking the DD Audio all day long. Be like, oh, check out my arcade, bitch. It's probably got Bluetooth built into it. And
you just dropped the beep. Okay.
It's radio. It's safe.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty cool. I'm glad that they did it. Here you go. New display technology for cars. This is a really cool one. So they've come out with let me go over to the actual story here because They came out with a liquid crystal that's super thin that they can apply to different surfaces. And like what we see here, this is a prototype in a car where it looks like standard wood grain. But actually you tap it and you get like your air conditioning controls, your seat positioning, and all that. It can literally be laminated onto a surface like this, and then you shut it off and it goes back to pardon me, this pretty look here. Now the funny part is my mom has this alarm clock at home, and it's this box that looks like a wood box, and you tap it and the clock shows through. There again, not the same technology. It's a really thin wood grain. You put a bright light behind it, and it shines through the wood. But the whole idea behind this is that, like, with as many Ubers and Lyfts and taxis and stuff like that we have going on, this is a film that can be applied to windows or anything. But windows were something that they were interested in. And what you see here is, as the car pulls up, the driver's name, Bob Smith, and you have your little number on your phone, so you know this is your ride instead of going, is that a black Tahoe or is that an Escalade? What do we have coming? Oh, we have an Atella ride coming, or Telluride. Oh, it's. Wonder where he is. So the car pulls up. Maybe your name is on the side of the car, the driver's name, and you hop in. I think it's a great idea for safety. There was a couple other applications they had in the story about telling you like the door isn't locked or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if this one is gonna be on the door or is gonna be in front of the windshield on the
Well, no,
passenger side.
This is right on the glass. So this is a treatment you can like a tint.
It doesn't matter where.
Doesn't matter where. You can put it wherever you want. See, now this is the whole thing. Like you saw the wood grain. So it's like there's multiple things you can do. Like they talked about putting it on the passenger side of the dash. So like when you have a pretty dash, and you don't want buttons to be there, they can apply this to that, put the coating to make it, the carbon fiber coating or whatever it is. But then if the passenger needs to adjust like the air conditioner or something like that, they can just tap the dash, and then the keyboard will pop up and they can tap and go through it. We're still about 2 to 3 years away from this actually being a viable thing. Concept is cool. I think it's a great idea. I'm excited. It'll just be one more thing. I mean, to me, this seems like a better idea than putting 200 monitors throughout the car, like Jeep is doing in the Grand Cherokee.
I like it.
Have you seen the pictures of the Grand Cherokee?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like, I watched a video the other day. Somebody got their hands on it. It's like dude, they literally stuffed a monitor wherever they could put a monitor. I would not buy that car, just because if anything breaks out of the warranty, you are screwed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like $100,000 car.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the cheapest thing on it is going to be getting your oil changed. It's the opposite of you're going to pay Ferrari price, be able to, so it's. Oh my
not
God,
even
don't
that.
even get me started. It's just so silly.
Yeah. Well, this technology is getting crazy, out of hands.
But I think this is cool though, because this will be a cheaper alternative. So like, I could see some like Honda or I'm sorry, like Kia or Hyundai who adopts things like this and tries to make more expensive stuff much more reasonable for the most part. I mean,
I think this one is cool for exactly that. The Uber or whatever it is for airports or like Uber Eats and everything. Waiting for my food. Hey.
Yeah, that's cool for sure.
Chicken and rice over here.
Ooh, we should do that today.
Yeah.
Or that or pizza. I don't know. Kind of on the fence. Let me move the little box here. All right, so in this week's episode of Good God, the industry, can it not just get back to normal? And the answer to that, of course, is no. But all right, China Keyport Terminal shuts down. China has a very strict COVID thing in place. If anyone tests positive, the whole facility shuts down. This is like the number 3 or number 4 facility in China shut down for 2 weeks because someone there tested positive for COVID. Now, let's put this in perspective, guys. Each one of these containers that you're looking at is $25,000 in shipping costs. Okay? $25,000 in shipping costs, each one of those containers. So for those of us playing at home, just that front row is more money than most of us will see in 2 to 3 years, okay? So, what's up, Car Gift?
Hey, Car Gift.
Portugal in the house. And now this goes back. All right, so we were experiencing delays and price hikes before, and now this plant shuts down for 2 weeks. Not only that, the plants to the left and right of it, or the ports to the left and right of it, were getting heavily tested as well, because these guys all talk to one another. So, they're like, expect delays because of that. So, man, I just, there's very hard to find a happy story about buying stuff. The point of this story, they were talking about how Christmas, or they call it the holiday season. Let's be honest, it's just Christmas. Although, Christmas and Hanukkah. I mean, but the holiday season is coming, so I guess we don't want to offend anyone in their holiday.
Well, like you can see right there, all the green containers, that's our CarPlay radios. So, we're just waiting.
Yeah. But, on a happier note, Ground Zero, German engineering company, we all know them, 2021. Newsflash, Uranium SQ Loudspeaker Award by ESA. Best product in car speakers since, for the 2020 to 2021 news cycle. So this is the speakers you have in your car.
A proud owner of one set. Very nice.
Very deserving of them with this award. So we're pretty excited for them to have won this.
And let me tell you, when people ask you, okay, what's the difference, or which one sounds better than this one than the previous one that you had, it's just like I said before, it's really hard.
Well, this one, it's not like you're A-Bing between the two.
No, you can't.
Right. Because even if we
you have to install this set in this side and this set in this side, and the problem is not gonna.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
But these ones, if you have the opportunity to get some of these speakers, I highly recommend it. They're really nice.
They are really nice and very awesome. Going back to the top story, for those of you that kind of turned in late, Dallas KnowledgeFest is canceled, even though it says postponed. It's not going to happen. There's no chance of it happening. So for us, we came up with a plan B, which will be in Washington State. So stay tuned for more information on that and what we'll be doing there. And if you're wanting to come out, go back to that. Yep. Also, in new products, there is a new product. We meant to cover this last week, and we just ran out of time. So we have it this week. Our good friends at Powerbase are coming out with, or have come out with, and finally started shipping some more OE plug-and-play speakers, which is really awesome. Okay guys, listen, if you're looking for an upgrade and you're like, my installation skills are like, I can take a door panel off, but that's about as far as it gets, Powerbase is the company for you. These guys make some awesome sounding plug and play, as it were, speakers. The first one to come out is the new GM, which is designed to replace the factory 2.5 and 6x9 in the door. These are factory fit. You unplug the factory one, this clips in, same screw, same mount, same hardware. It just goes right in, and you get a much better sound, Nissan replacements, components. The replacement for the new Chevy 6.5 that they just came out with that uses basically like the old classic mount. So this is going to be for like your Tahoes and Chevy Silverados that are that like early 2000 series before they switched to the 6x9 that pretty much always just fall through. They're they are efficient, so they don't need a ton of power. You don't have to do a lot of work, so literally you don't have to cut some wires, you don't have to do nothing. It just takes the speaker out. But when it comes to factory upgrades that are simple and like I just want a better sound and they're affordable too. Really, that's the best part, is they're affordable. For me, this is a category that I feel really needs to be developed. Most of these speaker baskets are some form of composite now, anyways. All right, let's be honest, they're all composite. But there is certain manufacturers that do have plug-and-play speakers. The thing to keep in mind about Powerbase is a very unique company in the sense that they're 100% China, but they are a Chinese company. It's not like they're an American company trying to pretend like they're not a Chinese company. No, they're straight a Chinese company that does business here in the United States. So they are a manufacturer. Everything that they sell, they make. Because first and foremost is they're a speaker manufacturer. So they build speakers for everybody.
It's not a third guy or a middle guy.
No, they are the build house for a lot of manufacturers. And some manufacturers take advantage of that, which I think is great. So like when you're looking at plug and play speakers, you know, you say, hey, they already have the baskets made. You just go in and have, you know, add your magnet, add your type of cone, you know, add your spider, and you're all set.
But the structure is
done.
Yeah.
This is something I feel a lot of, like, you know, I've had meetings with companies and I'm like, dude, make plug and play speakers. Like, stop. Like, and I think the answer to that is the bracket. Like, a lot of the manufacturers are now putting the bracket in the box, which is cool. It's nice, but that extra step of plug and play, I mean, it increases your SKU count for sure. And then you have to wonder, like, am I going to sell this speaker that I just made?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, dude, we sell a ton of Focal integration series speakers because it's Focal and it just goes in. You know, as soon as a guy rolls in with a Toyota and says, hey, man, well, we have these, and they'll go right in. You don't have to buy brackets, you don't have to buy foam, you don't have to buy this, you don't have to, and it's like, I'll take those.
Yeah, oh, totally. And it's just that.
Ron, I think you're kind of figuring out where I'm going with that. Sorry if you can't put the pieces together. I'm not going to say it, but you know, build house. Does things. But no, the Focals sound amazing. This is a different animal. These are a lot more affordable than the Focals. It's a different animal. It's a different customer. It's a different thing. It's like they're not the same thing, but they do sound incredible. You know, these on a kicker key is like, oh my god, these sound great. You got another story?
No, I mean,
okay.
that's
I
like...
didn't want to talk about that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think we've hammered that one into the ground
Sounds
enough.
Good.
And with that...
yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's the news.
Just to let you know, guys, we were over here. We were a fan. KnowledgeFest Dallas got postponed, so we're not going to be in Dallas next week.
So how it stands right now, just to give a recap of how our time frame is going to look here. Next weekend, which would have been Dallas, will now be Washington State. We're headed out to the rainforest to see audio control, so we doing something there with them. We don't know yet. Literally, this happened last night because KnowledgeFest was canceled. We got a phone call. What are you guys going to do? I said, I don't know. And then we amongst ourselves discussed what we wanted to do. We came up with an idea. We pitched it to them. They were like, yes. Yeah. So that's going on. Then the week after that is Road Trip 2021, where we drive the kicker truck home. So
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. That'll be good. That'll be more like for all those guys that complain that they don't get their questions answered. If they can't get their question answered on a 20-hour road trip, I mean, you just weren't trying.
Bye, guys.
You just weren't trying. But thanks for tuning in. This has been the news. You're in the know now. You know what's happening. Go forth, be merry. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's 5-Star Car Stereo, the number 5. If you're not following us on the other YouTube channel, well, we know you are because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. You guys have a great night as always. And hey, if you missed last night's Side Jag where we talked about the movie Nobody with Kip, Lindsay, make sure you go and watch that. We had a great hour talk. That was a wonderful movie. We had a fun time doing it. It was a great show, or at least everyone in the comments said it was. So make sure you tune in, go back and watch that. You can find that on Side Jag, the YouTube channel, and that's it. And Reverse Polarity last night, we also had a really good time. I don't know what we talked about, but we talked for an hour. It was a really good time. So you guys have a wonderful day.
See you guys later.
Enjoy your Friday, and we will see you next time.
Bye.